So we're starting the finals of the women's individual foil for the junior category here at the Junior and Cadet Fencing World Championships. And we have Nicole Pustilnik of Israel fencing May Tieu of the USA. And we got a few interesting facts about these two ladies.
Well, Ms. Pustilnik, just on their personal side, she'll graduate and go to Notre Dame next year, and May Tieu is at Princeton, as you see that shield on her arm.
All right, she's world senior rank 43rd. She was 66th at the recent Doha Grand Prix. And she had a chance to qualify for Tokyo but missed out. And she will be going to the Euro Olympic Zonal Qualifier later this month.
So she still has a chance. That's going to be a dogfight, though.
Also, from the USA, we have May Tieu. Currently, the score is 1-2 in the first round of the gold medal match.
2-2 now.
She's an American from USA. She's 19. She's ranked 103rd in the world senior rankings, and she was 43rd in Doha. And she's number 4 in the USA, and she won the last Junior World Cup in Zagreb in January 2020. And head-to-head, these two have met once before at the Sofia Junior World Cup in December 2018, and Tieu won it 14-13. So they are not unknown to each other. And so let's see what happens. And I want to give a shout-out of thanks to Mr. Karim Bashir for one of our other FIE commentators who is at home, and he kindly sent us some information to help us out with this. So.
Oh, Karim is so good at providing the stats and the details. Love working with Karim.
He is great at that kind of research, and we appreciate his help there.
He does his homework. Nice. Still they caught 2 and marching in. Freeze. May is
There's that arrow position. He's very good defensive position. Because she's so small too, and
she's small. She's very limber, flexible. My legs would have died if I'd done that to them, especially as many times as she does it, just in one bout.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of an age difference there.
Yeah. But what May Tieu did there is really about the only way you can hit her when she goes back there. You just have to take a low line and take the point in.
Right, because when she goes down, she's already taken your blade, so
Right.
you can't come around in time to hit her.
You can't hit her. You
She'll
can't hit her on
repost
the
into
top
you.
of your chest.
Yeah.
The other way to hit her would be on her back.
Right.
So we go to the 1 minute break, and the score is tied up.
All right, Don. So I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked you before. So if you were the coach, what would you be telling these ladies here?
I would tell Nicole that she is probably going to have to attack even a little bit more than she's doing it, just to be able to work her defense. And for May, it would be, attacking a low line, either commit to going low or going over the back and picking up a pair of repos. Because Nicole's an extremely good counterattacker.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I like about both of these fencers is they have a very complete game. They have their strengths, but they also have the ability to, go to the other side of.
I have another sort of. It's not a fencing question. It's about fencing, sort of. But if you're, as Nicole is, a fencer who's living in the United States and she's fencing for Israel, does her coach have to be a member? So he's obviously the Israeli
Coaches can
national
be from,
coach.
Coaches can be from anywhere.
So there's no regulation on
This
that.
is an individual coach. I mean, we have coaches from around the world coaching teams from all kinds of different countries.
Uh-huh.
So there is no regulation on who a coach.
Well, he's wearing a jacket for the Israeli team, right? So, but that doesn't mean that's his nationality.
No.
I see.
I mean, we have quite a few coaches who are coaching for the U.S. It doesn't mean that they are
Citizens of the U.S.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Even if they're a national coach.
But it does get tricky sometimes as an athlete when you're trying to change countries or go back.
That's a
and
whole
forth.
different conversation. That's representation.
Right.
It's the country you represent is a very different. That's extremely controlled. You have to go through certain FIE, IOC. I mean, all of the governing bodies control that very heavily.
Right. And it can become controversial, I know.
Yes, it can. Timing is also a big part of it. There's a rule that if you haven't competed at a certain level for 3 years, then, then there's really no controversy. It's when you try to do it within that 3-year period.
Oh, I see. Looked like Tieu tried the arrow move there, but with not quite the grace that
No,
Nicole seems to have mastered with it.
It's like spring loaded for her.
No.
And she's able to attack. You know what I find just very interesting is that next year, when we hopefully have a normal collegiate season, they will be competing in the NCAAs as well, which just gives you an idea of the level of collegiate fencing in the United States at this point.
And maybe for those of you out there who are not from the U.S., can you tell us what NCAA is?
It's the National Collegiate. Excuse me. I got
Athletic
distracted.
Association.
No, it's not athletic. No,
No?
it's okay. Athletic Association.
And it's the governing body for what? For collegiate sports in the United States?
It's the governing body for all collegiate sports, and
in the U.S.
in the United States, for Division I, Division II, and Division III varsity sports. And the biggest part of the NCAA really revolves around Division I.
And is there an equivalent of that in other countries or in regions like in Europe or Asia? Do you know?
I was in Italy for when we had the Junior Cadet World Championships there, and they were looking at initiating something similar to that. But currently, I don't know of any other country that has that level of infrastructure in place.
And that's, well, that looks like 9 points for Tieu. Taking quite a strong lead against Nicole.
She wants to change her body cord.
Right. And you know, sometimes it's you know, in fencing, it's not even so much that the equipment isn't working as it's a way of sort of resetting yourself mentally by changing out if you can. Just it sort of interrupts the momentum that maybe you've got a little bit of negative momentum going, and it gives you a chance to do that.
They're doing it very quickly.
I mean, I'm not
and
saying
very
it's
efficient.
I'm not saying it's an unethical thing to do. I'm just saying that it's sometimes it having a fresh weapon, a fresh body wire, just gives you a different sort of feeling and perspective on fencing.
What we saw in the junior individuals was a Egyptian fencer that it looked like his weapon was not hitting, and he wanted to change his body cord and asked to. And initially, the referee wouldn't let him, and then it became obvious that his body cord was damaged. So I'm in favor of, if you feel like your body cord's not working, I mean, of course there's a test you can do, which I did not know that until I had gotten such a deep hole in a national championship final that somebody felt sorry for me and came out and said, test, this is how you test. I'm like, oh, that's why my light won't go off.
Yeah, I was in a tournament, a regional tournament one time where a guy went all the way to 14 with a dead body cord, and he just didn't believe it wouldn't work. He wouldn't have it tested or anything. And then he had it tested on that last touch, and it didn't work. And all they could do was annul the previous touch. And I was at that point, I had 14 like 2.
That's so painful.
And I wasn't going to say anything.
That's so
At
painful.
some point, I said, "Why don't you test?" And he's like, "No." Like,
well, hey, if he wants, whoa, nice. Classic arrow.
that was a good arrow. Yeah, that was an arrow that found its target. Second round, 40 seconds to go. Another point up, 7-9. You see, that's what I mean. That little kind of reset sometimes
Oh, it makes
can be
a big
effective.
difference. Absolutely. Let you rethink what's going to work. Yep.
3 in a row.
Totally changed the game. I just received a text from the referee that reminded me that it was them who told me that. Obviously, somebody's listening to us, sir.
That what?
told me how to test
Ah,
a body cord. Alex Joella of the U.S. Well, Nicole Pustilnik has taken a bout that looked like it was going south fast and turned it around in a heartbeat.
yep. And there it is, tied up.
Yeah. She went to a whole different game.
And here we are at the break before the final round of the gold medal match in junior women's foil. So we've got,
Hey, you're looking for the Vegas odds again?
well, you know, it's pretty evenly matched, but Nicole looks like she's on a bit of a roll. We'll see if this break helps May a little bit.
Well, this is just like she took that break, and she did it at a point where it was really needed. It's now May's time in this what's left of 20 seconds to try to get some direction and strategy from her coach to make sure that she can do this in the way that she needs to. How are you going to counterattack what just changed? Because we felt that energy change.
Mm-hmm. Until we're in Egypt, you can hear the sound of the muezzins.
The adhan, the muezzins calling the adhan. Time for prayer.
9-9, so basically it's a 0-0 match. It's almost like a pool. It's almost like a pool bout from the beginning now.
Well, except this one goes to 6.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, so the break did something good for May as well.
Well, she's attacking now as opposed to getting hit. And before she was playing defense.
Right.
And now she's obviously, Nicole's going back to what was working.
Right. Well, for women's foilists, they're both, remarkably aggressive, and she's one of the more talkative foilists.
She talks. Yeah, she has conversations with her coach, with the referee, everybody. Only thing she doesn't do is talk to her opponent.
See, now that time May took that arrow and used it against her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, which was that's the only way to do it.
She had to discipline the weight, but the key was she was able to make the repos.
And she had to come around at a pretty extreme angle to do it.
Yeah, but she had the patience to make it happen.
Right, and that. Another single point for May.
Yeah, switching the game up a little bit.
Right. That's going to put some pressure onto Nicole because she's going to have to. She can't just be defensive. She's going to have to. And that's what she was trying to do there, which didn't work.
No, she's going to push her.
Simultaneous. Mm-hmm. Just like us.
Well, let's see if anything gets seen in the video that wasn't seen in the live action.
Each fencer gets 2 video
Yes.
calls, and they get to keep going if they prevail.
If they prevail, you get as many as you want, as long as you keep winning the challenge.
Macy, I'm kind of surprised he didn't stop. They actually hit bodies, and he kept going on that.
Well, there is. Is there no? One of the weapons does not have core to core.
Well, they had body contact because her shoulder hit her in the chest.
Yeah, that's what the coach is asking about, core to core.
Yeah.
Cole knows exactly what she's trying to hit her. Wow.
Nicely timed.
Patience. She's just so patient.
Tieu brings it to 14-10. 1 touch away from a gold medal for the American.
Well, a lot of this depends on if May just keeps doing what she's been doing.
That got a little sloppy there.
Nicole was pushing on her, but they're not going to call that on her.
No.
Unless it's just really, really bad. For a little person, Nicole will definitely use her body.
Right. Well, she's in a must. She calls the.
That looked like a pretty clean parry repost.
Yeah, she had the touch on it, but
guess what?
It could go either way.
At this point, she needs to use everything that she has.
Yeah, and that's a perfectly fair thing to do. He's coming back quickly, so it's usually when the referee comes back quickly, that's usually a sign that they're not going to change anything.
And they look at the fencer they called.
Exactly.
That's the other one. That's
right.
Sort of it's
true.
Oh, nice touch.
That's a nice touch. Not over.
No fire. Nicole can explode. We just saw her.
Right. Make up a 3-point deficit very quickly.
She's steadily pushing up on her body.
But we are close here. This is coming up towards the end of the gold medal match for junior women's foil. We're about to have a new world champion very shortly.
Nice
it could go
out.
Either way.
I told you that. Nicole is phenomenal. And May is also extremely good. So, I mean, this is, obviously.
And they will do a video review.
No, they won't.
No, you don't think so on that one?
Well, they don't have to.
Oh.
It was pretty clear.
Ah, okay. That's 15 points for May Tieu, the new world champion from the United States of America.
Hey, Greg.
Congratulations to May Tieu and the USA. She is the new junior world champion of women's foil. Coming out on the strip with an American flag.
Congratulations, Nicole.